Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. This is a 1968 Chevy full-size truck that a customer reached out for me to do some work on based on an experience he was having with bad sound. This particular truck has a nice radio in it with some Morel speakers and a kicker amp, as well as a JL sub. The challenge the customer was having was that the system didn't sound the way he wanted to. He did ask the shop to do some specific work to the truck and found that it didn't do what he wanted it to do. So what I did is, as you can see here, this car has a beautiful Dakota digital DH system in it. It has a really nice Alpine Halo radio on it, but when they had the install done, they put the speakers, the mid speakers, in the center of the dash, which unfortunately, when you separate the tweeter and the mid from the system itself, from close to each other and put them in the mid, the sound doesn't necessarily translate to anything great. So we're gonna fix all that in this particular video. Stay tuned. So what you see here now is me locating the actual crossovers that were located in the dash behind the glove box. The reason that I had to pull all this stuff is because obviously we're going to go full active in this system. So we're pulling all the crossovers out, all the passives I should say, and moving on to wiring everything directly to the new amp and setup that I was going to do in the truck. In the process of that, I have to also remove the dash pad. I also have to remove the tweeters from their location. I literally had to undo everything that they had done, which wasn't horrible from the standpoints of the truck itself. The actual install was done correctly. It just didn't look great, and I probably would have made some different changes. So I pulled almost everything out except for the physical radio, and as you can see, with me doing so, that allowed me to reinstall the entire system. I also had to correct some other challenges with the actual kick panel speakers and the install itself. So just keep on watching me pulling everything out, starting from scratch. After removing the dash pad, I recreated a center channel looking mount and actually moved the mids to the left and right side of the dash like they're supposed to be, which turned out to work very well. Then we moved on to the amp rack, and as you can see here, we have a Museway amplifier, which is a 4-channel, and the kicker amplifier that the customer already have in the system. And we'll go over that Museway amplifier. So let's talk about what equipment we put in this particular truck. It's almost done, but the customer elected to go with a DSP amplifier. So we had a couple of choices. So I moved him towards the Museway, and here's why. This particular one is an M4 Plus amplifier. That means it has 4 channels of power. It also has 6 channels of input, and it has, I believe, a total of 4 more outputs. So in this case, he can push his tweeters and mids off this amplifier and then take this 5-channel and bridge it and run the mid bass and the sub. So as you can see, we already did a lot of the wiring, but what this amplifier consists of literally is that it is a 4-channel. I don't know if you can read this now. That's a 4-channel. It's 4x100. So we got English, British. So we'll go by the British here. So we got 4x100. It's a 4-channel D-class, 8-channel output DSP, 2-channel bridgeable to 4-ohm load. It has 6 high-level inputs. It also has 6 RCA inputs, which technically they're the same inputs. The only difference is there's a jumper internally that you have to pull out of the amplifier on the back side to allow it to do that. And then you have an optical input, a speaker output. The speaker outputs 4 channels, like I said before, and it's got a 4-channel pre-out to do the ESP, and there's the dimensions in millimeters. So the beauty of this is the customer gets the DSP, which I think he ultimately wanted it to the beginning, but kind of like elected not to. And he gets, like I said, 4 channels of DSP at 4x100, and he's got the amp mono. This one bridge, this is about 100, 110, I believe. And then we run the sub. So he wanted to keep that the same. We didn't want to change anything. So look-wise, we're pretty much close to doing it, getting it all done. As you can see, all the wiring's pretty much close to it, and RCA's are not tightened up because I don't know balance yet. We still got to do some custom stuff here where we're going to do some Y adapters going here, so we're going to make some custom RCA's for that. But the car's looking really good. It's a mess right now, but it's looking good because I had to really rebuild the entire amp rack from front to back, the entire amp rack, and then clean everything up. So I'll show you the final picture of it once we're all said and done. We also got to tighten up that box as it's pushed back. I'm sorry, it's tilting. So we're getting there. So I'm getting this thing all tuned up, and I was working on all the other stuff in the vehicle, and then I discovered the bass knob was bad. Typical. So things like that always happen. So I went and got another bass knob for this customer, got it all dialed in, and then we started EQing. So if you look at the system, this is kind of cool with the software. So you can see individual channels here. So you got, the way I do it is one channel, one is left tweeter. It's just left, right, left, right, left, right. So 1 is left tweeter, 2 is right tweeter, left mid, right mid, left mid bass, right mid bass, and then sub. So I did a lot of things on the system. So right now we're looking at the left front tweeter. That's all the equalization. That's a ton of equalization. Basically, I just kind of calmed it down quite a bit. And then when we added the mid, we calmed down the mid a little bit too. That's like rocky road going on. And then we got mid bass, and you can see that. And then you have the sub. So there's a lot of equalization in this particular setup. And that's just pretty much just the front. That's just the left and right mid because the speakers in the dash and stuff like that. And then the kick panel itself it's not really an enclosure. It's not really open, so it's going to have a lot of different things. So you can actually go through and you can individually see all the equalization I had done to it. You know, individual channel by channel, and how much level I had to reduce. And the sub right here is kind of low, but right now it's just low, but I'm going to bring it up and down based on when I get into it and listen to it. Right now I haven't even listened to the car. So I'm going to listen to the car. It should sound pretty good. I just got to get the time alignment correct. That's the main thing. Then I can get all the phasing right, and then I can deal with all the other bull crap. But this is a wrap. Really hard to see how this sounds because this car is so tight. But this car is going to turn out miraculously. I'll tell you once I'm done tuning it what my ultimate opinion is, and then we'll go from there. All right.